Welcome to the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for Thursday, December 16th. Over the last 7 days, we've had some precipitation over especially the northern half of the region, but also down over parts of southern Utah and far southern Nevada. Over the last 2 weeks, this precipitation has been above normal over the southern half of the Great Basin and also over parts of central Idaho. Looking at the new snow over the last 72 hours with the storm system that has moved through a couple days ago and is moving through another system moving through today, significant snow amounts, especially in parts of central Idaho in the higher terrain, and also especially in the Sierra and the higher terrain. As you move further east across the Great Basin, most areas saw some light precipitation. However, it looks like most of the heavier snow amounts certainly were tied to the higher terrain. Looking at our snow depth on the right, you can see the best snow depth is certainly in the Sierra with this new snow we've seen with this current storm and also with the last storm a couple of days ago. We have several new feet of snow in the higher terrain. Also decent snowpack up in central Idaho and parts of Wyoming. Looking at the overall percentage of snowpack, you can see it's generally above normal over the Sierra and over parts of eastern Nevada, and this is again where the heavier snows have been. However, snowpack is now near normal over parts of central Idaho and over the higher terrain of parts of Utah. We will have additional storm systems moving through here over the next 1 to 2 weeks, so we will see the snowpack continue to rise in many areas. Looking at the satellite loop from this morning, again the next trough of low pressure is moving into the western side of the Great Basin and will move eastward across the Great Basin over the next 24 to 36 hours, bringing clouds, cooler temperatures, and showers to much of the region, especially over the northern half of the Great Basin. So looking at our weather pattern for later today, this morning that trough is over western areas. It will push eastward into central areas of the Great Basin and again push those mix of rain and snow showers across the Great Basin through today. We will have fairly poor mixing as this trough moves through and winds are fairly light in many areas. Looking at the transport winds, again, aside from the higher terrain of areas over the eastern half of the Great Basin, much of the winds will be calming down, especially in the valleys, but still somewhat breezy in the mid to higher terrain with gusts in the 20s to low 30s. Mixing heights will remain low to moderate. As we move into Friday, this trough of low pressure moves into the Rockies, so we will see a decrease in precipitation and clouds across the area, but cooler temperatures and northerly winds will be somewhat breezy, especially over the southern half of the Great Basin. But other areas, winds will be decreasing, so we will see that dispersion deteriorate. Looking at the transport winds on Friday, again with this system pushing eastward, the stronger winds will be further east into Wyoming and Colorado. Still we'll have some breezy north to northeast winds over southern areas of the Great Basin and over the northern areas of the Wasatch. Mixing heights will remain very low over western areas of the Great Basin and still moderate for another day over the eastern half of the region. As we move into Saturday, another system is moving by to the north, so we will see clouds push into the northern half of the Great Basin, probably very light with respect to precipitation across Idaho, but certainly could see some light showers, otherwise poor dispersion region-wide. Transport winds generally gusty over parts of the Pacific Northwest and northern Rockies and parts of Idaho, but for the most part very light winds across Nevada and Utah. Looking at the forecast clearing index for the next few days, with those gustier winds today, especially in the higher terrain, we will see higher clearing indices over northern and central Utah, also over parts of western Utah. We will see these conditions deteriorate on Friday with the exception of parts of the Uintas and the northern Wasatch, which will still see some breezy winds. But by Saturday, lighter winds region-wide will see very low clearing indices across Utah. The forecast amount of precipitation for the next 3 days is shown here. So over the northern half or northern 2/3 of the Great Basin is where we will continue to see those showers going through today and into tomorrow. The heaviest precipitation will be in the Sierra and also parts of the northern Utah mountains up into Wyoming and then further north into Idaho. As we go into the weekend, we will see quieter conditions, at least Saturday and Sunday across most of the area with lighter winds and poor dispersion. However, you can see this next area of low pressure off the west coast. That will start moving in on Monday. We'll certainly see some winds start to increase a little bit on the western side of the Great Basin, but much of this moisture will be moving in by Tuesday, so we will see another round of precipitation pushing in from the west and moving across most areas of the Great Basin going into Tuesday and into Wednesday. You can see the forecast amount of precipitation. This just takes us through Tuesday morning, so you can see that next system moving in early on Tuesday, bringing significant precipitation again to northern California. Again, this will move across the Great Basin, especially going later in the day on Tuesday and into Wednesday. The 8 to 14 day outlook, taking us from December 23rd through the 29th, still shows cooler temperatures and above normal precipitation, especially from the northern and western half of the Great Basin. But we will see that precipitation even move across really many areas, even over the Arizona Strip, Utah, southern areas of the Great Basin as well. However, temperatures will still remain a little bit warmer down there. But we're definitely going into a wetter pattern region-wide for the next couple of weeks. That concludes our webcast for today. This will be the last webcast for 2021, and we will resume these webcasts again every Monday and Thursday after the new year.